Hello and welcome to round 7 of the Academy Drivers Series. We are here at Monaco for the qualifying session, and alongside me we have the one and only Aidan Jones. How are you doing, Aidan?
Hello. Currently, before anyone's complaining that I'm quali banned, I'm just making sure my setup loads for the race. So I'm doing the out lap and then I'll retire in the pits. And then
Aidan
I'll
Jones
be able to
cheating in the Alpine. He's going to hold everyone up. He's just going to park it in the by the swimming pool.
I just go, oh no, my throttle, it's broken. I just crash it into the chicane. No, don't worry. I won't. I'll make sure I don't take any risks. That happens.
All good. And welcome back to those that have tuned in recently. Nice to have you back. And anyone that's new, hi and welcome. We're always watching the comments on YouTube, so feel free to message us. Looks like we have Manic on the first one to go on a hot lap. He's already got an Alpine getting out of the way as Aidan retires, being banned for his naughty behaviour.
For your only human, I can fuck up now and again.
But let's follow Manic. Struggling a little bit there through, I forget that turn name, the right-hander. Slightly up on the curb. It's such a difficult track with the cars being so wide nowadays.
Oh, you're talking about Mirabeau.
Manic in the Aston, brushing up against the walls. I feel that's his style. That's his driving style. It seems to work well for him. Leaves it all out, literally on the track. Oh, and just slightly messes up his braking there. That's a shame.
Slightly.
All good. First hot lap, you got to push. Why not?
Manic, it's
on
like
board.
regular corner cutting.
On with Xbox now in the Haas. It just looks so slow, doesn't it, now through sector 2?
Yeah, it depends what he's on medium tires as well, so it will naturally be a lot slower than the usual. But you probably can risk going onto the mediums because let's be completely honest, these aren't terrible drivers, but it is Monaco. There is a very high possibility that quite a few drivers, crash out in Q1.
Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, I think it's just because the cars are so wide, and to be honest, their grip's quite poor now at low speed with these modern cars. So it's just slow. But
it's kind of always been. It's not really. I wouldn't say it's a size problem. It's always been a thing here at Monaco, just to maintain the focus throughout the lap, especially that last little, like from Nouvelle Chicane after the tunnel, all the way down to the start-finish line, as the Hammer has just been held up a bit by the Aston Martin. Sorry.
Yeah, that was cool. That's a shame for the Hammer, as Magneto set a 1:09.3 and we were just on board with Xbox setting a 1:10.1, so some early lap times coming in. But yeah, I think Hammer was slightly held up there. But we'll stay on board though. He's really pushing hard through sector 3.
Ooh.
A little bit sideways.
Yeah, second gear is not. It is like the one you want to be using quite a lot around here, especially in those low speed corners, but it still ain't optimal in terms of getting traction out of some of these corners. And Beetle's retired.
Oh, Beetle, he has binned it.
He's in the pits.
He's in the pits?
Never mind.
Okay, someone, it went yellow. I think that might have been for a Mercedes, but anyway, our web set a 1:10.9, Chimitta a 1:10.8, so already pretty close.
Callum just crossed the line for 1:10.7.
Awesome. And we've got, okay, so Oking in the RB, he has unfortunately invalidated. So we've got Lingus now just sliding his way around in the Williams. This section of the track reminds me of when Kimi Räikkönen, his car broke and he just walked to his yacht along there. That was crazy.
Mental. It's classic Kimi behaviour. No one's really got close to Magnus at the moment. Koa's not here today, so that's one of the, I guess, championship challenges out.
Yeah, it's a good point. We can take a little look at the standings in a second. We'll just stay on board with Lingus as he works his way around now the final corner of the track. Very sideways on exit, but the traction's just so difficult. You want to get the power down nice and early, and it's a 1:10.4, solid lap time. Yeah,
very, very nice indeed. I think I know what happened to Beetle Rain. Email disconnected.
Oh, and Magnus over 1:08.8. Apologies for missing that one. But we're on board with Gabriel, who I've been very, very impressed with so far. Every race I've watched him in, he's been very solid, very calculated driver in the Williams.
Yeah, yeah, he's been solid. He's clearly had the very good pace, but I mean Q1 and Q2 he's clearly had good pace, and then it's just come to like Q3, especially last race in Baku, it just didn't seem to click, and then the race. Obviously, I don't think he got the win. I think it was Fenn actually that got the win. Actually, is he here today in the Williams? No, I don't think so.
Good
Gabriel,
lap though from Gabriella. So it's a 1:08.8. Just misses out on provisional pole off Magnuschel, but he'll be pretty happy with that lap. And he was purple in sector 3.
Yep, it's just all about getting through into Q2 at the moment.
I've been told to spotlight Amalfi so we can watch him in the pits doing absolutely nothing, not helping the stream at all. And
whoever said that, get in the bin.
Oh, Tajano just invalidated. That must have been a couple of pixels in that, but that's a shame for him. So he's got to go again. I remember Tajano actually had this issue. I think it was at Jeddah. Struggled to get a lap together, but eventually did. And when he did, it was quite a good lap. Le Jour, I don't know. That's probably French. Probably explains why I can't say it. But he is now on a hot lap.
Probably butchered that.
Yeah, probably just offended like a few million people, but it's fine.
It's fine. Wow. Wow, you're hearing this France? Oh, is this even French? If it isn't, then I'm offended, which then, oh well, it is what it is, deal with it.
Well, look, every time I go there, I speak to them in French for about 2 seconds, and then they just immediately cut me off and speak English.
I love how we're not
that
clocking every single one of the top threes in the 108.9. Oh no, I was going to say 108.8, but it's such a big, there's like an ad break between second and third. Never mind. Sorry.
Well, this Le Jour guy looks pretty rapid to me. Very, very quick. Very high in confidence. So far, purple in sector 1 and 2. And just, yeah, looks very confident in his driving style.
18.4. Let's have a look. He's a couple tenths off in the third. I didn't even remember his middle sector.
Well, here we go. Let's see. Yeah, slightly off, isn't it? A 1:10.1.
Yeah, 1:10.1.
Good stuff, though.
It looks like the top two are going to be off into the sunset come. Yeah.
Where would you see yourself in this order? As Tyler unfortunately invalidates. So we're on board with David now in the McLaren.
I wouldn't take a lot of risks. It is Q1.
Oh, is that a Red Bull getting out of the way? Yeah, sorry, apologies.
Yeah.
Good driving from both, actually. Did not impact David at all.
18.4 from Niggins. Couple tenths off Magnus in the first sector. Where would I see myself in this? I mean, I wouldn't take a lot of risks, so probably P3. Yeah, I'd say around there. But oh well. We've got to redeem it in the race, it is what it is.
Just looking at the comments, who is Lenny? Like, what's the username? Just to have a message about that. Eliana.
See, I want to say that's Beetle, but I want to say that's Rain, because he just said quali ban. But I'm unsure at the same time.
Yeah, David invalidates, by the way, as does Tyler. Mason's half a second improved, but he'll want to try and push on a little bit more if he wants to get into the top 3.
Wait, is it full quali or is it short? See, I was under the impression it was full.
I'm guessing it's full, right? Because it's always been full, that I know of.
Okay, any announcements? It said short. Am I getting... Is it different today? Have we literally just given up on the whole concept? Today, like we've just realised it's Monaco. No, it is full. Right, Mason, you're fired. Mason, I saw that announcement, bro. You're fired. I know I'm not the admin, but you're still fired. There you go, Vegas fastest.
Amalfi now out on track. And this is a hot lap, so we'll ride on board with the Red Bull Racing driver.
Manic, if you just like retire in the pits so I don't start last, that would be much, much appreciated. Thank you very much. Please. I'm begging. David Niggins goes third fastest, 109.746. Very nice.
Good stuff.
Goes a little bit wide through to back. Through the swimming pool section. Now into Raskas. Oh, it looked very scruffy. I mean, it's looked quite laggy as well, but that might be why it looked a bit scruffy. But he goes across the line 110.7.
Not bad at all, considering the Sector 3 that he had. Definitely room for improvement, but that's always fine. It's more annoying when you think you've maxed out your potential when you're in 10th place or 11th place. Ragogo now.
So you summarised your career there.
Yeah, pretty much. That's why I ended up here, talking shit.
Good.
I will tell you, I did once win a championship in a racing league in F1.
Did 2 people race?
No, I had 18 races in it.
Are you sure, like, 10 of them weren't bots?
Oh, Ragogo straight into the wall. I think his front wing's okay. No, he's lost an end plate. It's just slightly too heavy there. So yeah, we'll just move on to that very quickly. Oh, he just makes it around. And he's decided not to go in the pit, which I'm really surprised about. Maybe he doesn't know he's got front wing damage. It's unfortunate.
Tier 7 title is absolutely insane. Whoever said that.
Tier 7 title. I tell you what, you're kind of close though. He's kind of close.
Wrap up your whole career. I'm sorry. Wrap it up, bro. Right, yeah, Nico fans, if there is any. It's been a pleasure. It's been an absolute pleasure. Yeah, this will be end of stream. That's gonna be last to see him, bro. It's crazy.
Oh, Schmidt just messes up in that difficult chicane. He's invalidated. I'm on board with Xbox. I actually did lose once upon a time. I lost the Tier 3 championship on the last race of the season when I was ahead from race 2 to the last one.
Sorry.
Go on, mate.
Aida's getting a podium with a quali band, trusted Bro, I got pole in Abu Dhabi and I still got taken out. What do you think is going to happen when I'm back at the grid? I got pole, I was literally down
Oh,
the
wow.
road.
Wait, this Xbox lap is looking very rapid. I'm just on board with this. This is looking very tidy. He's almost a second improved. So if he can keep the pace up into Sector 3, could be on for something. Although it seems a bit slow on the exit. I don't know, let's see. It's a 109.1, third place so far. Excellent stuff there from the Haas driver.
I'm guessing that's straight. I do appreciate the trust. Obviously, I've signed with Alpine for next season. And so was Koa, who's not here today. But confident, very confident in that.
You've got a lot of fans.
Yeah, Manic's 7th fastest, and that confirms I will be starting last on the lead.
Indeed.
Damn.
Just following on with Webb, although he's on the medium tyre, so I'm not expecting miracles. And I think Tyler's one to watch out for. Maybe let's see if we can switch to Tyler. Yeah, he's on a soft tyre. He's going for a proper lap here in the Ferrari. Let's hope he doesn't invalidate this time. Right up against that wall.
1-4 in the first sector. It's basically what a lot of them have been setting in the first sector, apart from I would say the top 2 of doing like around 18.2s.
Oh, gets it all wrong.
In the bin he goes,
Oof.
and that is the first one to hit that wall at the Nouvelle chicane.
Oh, and he hadn't set a lap time either. That's really unfortunate for Tyler.
See, I'm blaming that on you because you focused on him and he was actually doing well until we watched him. And then he put it in the wall. That's all your fault. That's all I'm saying.
Well, moving on from that, that was unfortunate. Everyone's in the pit except for Manic and Webb.
Started that up.
Oh, good stuff. Yeah, well, Manic is also about to start a lap, and I'm always impressed with his lap times. So I'll stay on board with the Aston, but we can flick between. Oh my goodness! What on earth was that Sauber doing? Oh,
I told you to take him out before he done his first lap.
Oh dear. Oh dear, I don't think he'll be too happy with that.
You've not read the script, bro.
I think Manic may have to do another.
No, what is that? Tremendous drive in that one.
2 minutes and 30 seconds though is quite awkward because he can't go in and pit and do another lap time, so he's now got to burn his tyres up. So actually for Manic, that's pretty devastating, I would say.
18.5 for Oking in the first sector. Slightly slower than what we have seen. I would say
Oking,
purple in the
purple
first
sector
middle
2.
sector. I'm fucking bit game lying, to be honest. This game is about as reliable as Ferrari. Anyway, around the final corner, he goes. Manic is out, by the way. I think he's done the same that the Ferrari did.
Oh dear.
Tyler. Yep, he has. Oh my word, and Wolfie was very close.
And Oking with the
To the back of the
109.8, good lap, 7th place for now. People really pushing now. Webb almost into the
And
wall.
Oking is just retired from session. He knows he's through with that lap. Wolfie not improving at the moment.
Yeah, so we've got Webb to look out for, but also James needs to push on. James has invalidated and has just straight lined the swimming pool chicane. Is that the swimming pool chicane? Which one? I always get the
back. That's the
to back.
So
Sorry.
where he's at is now.
Yeah, that's it. Sorry, I always get those two confused. Nice one. Yeah, so he's got just enough time to do another lap,
See,
and
this
then
is the boomer here, and I know the corner names. It's crazy stuff. Anyway,
you're probably too young to even have watched like the Valencian Grand Prix. This is where you're like, there was a Grand Prix in Valencia?
So it ended in 20... The last race was in 2012. I would have been 5, so probably... maybe not. I don't know.
That was a fantastic track, by the way. They should bring that back. But anyway, Rogogo's looking pretty solid. He's currently in the drop zone.
If I remember correctly, that track literally went
another
to the
M
stop and
plate gone for Rogogo. Both M plates of his front wing. Just pushed a bit too hard. I don't think he needed to, actually. I think he was okay with his improvements to get in to Q2, but now I'm just, well, it can't, it's surely not going to happen, is it? Yeah, into the pits. His teammate invalidates. Really bad day for Sauber, and he is fuming, absolutely fuming with that one. Just got to be careful not to obviously block the track. But I'll say no
James
more.
out in Q1 now.
Yeah, he was doing a little bit of a driving test. I don't know what to say about that one.
What do we do there? Well, I guess we'll see. He's disappeared. I mean, he's done how he managed that. He just crashed between the Nouvelle Chicane and to back. I don't know how he's done that. But
yeah, I was on board. He was on purpose.
Ah, okay.
That's why I'm moving on.
He gave up.
Yeah, he was. I just said he was doing a driving test, but yeah, he was
driving that.
Amalfi on board with in the Red Bull. I mean, he's safe. Everyone is now safe, but why not put another lap time in for the fans? And Gabriel, you know, P2 at the end of Q1 yet again. Him and Magnuschel always seem to be at the top early on in the sessions. Now it's a swimming pool chicane.
Which one are you? I'm so sorry, but your name's completely different. So everything that's in the top 20.
It could be, if he's saying bottled, it could be Tyler, or it could be one of the Saubers. And Amalfi with a 1:10.5, so he's in 13th. Obviously safe. Everyone is now safe. So that is it for Q1.
Sorry, my burger. Magnus in P1, Gabriel in second, Xbox in third, Lingus in fourth. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that in fifth.
What flag is that? I love the flag. Sorry, go on.
King, Webb, shush. Eighth is Webb, Hammer in ninth, Amigo in 10th, Chimita in 11th, Mason 12th, Amalfi 13th, Callum 14th, Manic, James, Rogo, Go, Tyler, Beetle, and yours truly are out in Q1.
Wow, 3 drivers unable to set a time. Obviously 2 that were taking part. And yeah, who is Buttery? Manic out as well. That's so unfortunate for Manic. Very, very unfortunate. I think he would have been safe, but yeah, getting held up was not ideal for him. And then yeah, just pushing a little bit perhaps before his final hot lap run did not help. Yeah, Buttery is okay.
I'm kidding. Sorry. Okay. Alright, into Q2. What did you, I guess. I don't know. Not really a lot to be learnt from Q1. Some was probably pushing more than others, as it was only Q1. As if you push the limit, the only thing I will say about the top 2 are being like quite a lot ahead. They were clearly pushing a lot more on the limit than everyone else, which the problem is good, but I guess confidence or whatever. But there is a very decent chance you can easily pull it into the barriers at like at the Nouvelle chicane or at the swimming pool section or to back even. So you do want to be careful with how much you pull it all on the line in Q1 and Q2. Because if you crash, you're 14th on the grid, and that could be race over.
Yep. It's a bit of a war of attrition, even qualifying, to be honest. Do you think you'll see people setting 107s? Oh, hammer time going all sorts of sideways.
No.
So you think a low 108, perhaps?
Low 108. Judging by what I've seen in time trial, low 108, I would say. Yeah. I mean, hey, it depends, because obviously it's a league race. People won't be pushing us to the limit as much as you would in time trial, so you could even say only mid 108. Because of the mental thing of being more careful, because it's a league race. It is the actual thing. It's not Grand Prix mode or whatever. So it could even just be a mid. Like, we might not even get much better than the 108.8 we saw in Q1. We might just get like mid 108. But I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. Interesting. I don't know. I think low 108s. Do you know? I think the Monaco track looks quite good on the game at this time.
Yeah, 100%. You don't get blinded out the tunnel as well, which is good.
Just on board with Gabrielle. Is it Gabriella? Gabrielle?
I'll go with Gabrielle. I haven't had any complaints, so I'll go with what I like. I'll go with what I think's right, and as soon as I get the first complaint, okay, I'll change it immediately. But I haven't had a complaint, so screw you.
But I've been really impressed with them, whoever they are.
Whoever they are, that is insane.
Slight tank slap into the barrier with the rear left tyre, but that's fine. It actually carried a lot of speed. Sometimes it's quicker that way. And it's a 108.5, already proving that Aiden knows absolutely nothing about this game. And then Webber for 110.5. On board with the hammer.
In my defence, his time trial was a 108.3, and I was actually faster than it, so... I'm just saying.
What I find interesting about the hammer is he's obviously clearly a Hamilton fan. I don't know what gave that away. Okay, he's on his lap. So that's a 109.7. But I think he's German, according to his flag. I don't know many Germans that actually like Hamilton, so that's quite interesting.
How many Germans do you actually know, though?
Quite a few. I lived there for half a year.
Oh, fair.
You weren't expecting that, were you?
By the way, Magnus won it. No, to be honest. Magnus doing the 109.022. That could be used soft, to be fair to him, but he's actually 2 tenths slower than what he was in Q1. So, Luco, you go fuck yourself with me not knowing anything I know about this fucking game.
Just reading the chat. Yeah, Manic, that is so annoying. Yeah, I see a lot of interesting things happen to you there. And yeah, it doesn't really surprise me that the AI binned it for you. So a lot of good lap times so far, but obviously early days, 10th through 14th yet to come out and set a lap time, but there's still 10 minutes to go. Let's have a look. Who is worth watching next? Is Mason held up? I can't tell.
I love how this man literally tried to get all the swearing out the way before the stream started and agreed to me being the co-com. Perhaps the job description, I swear, at this point. What do you mean?
Alright, I'm on board with Magnus because we've given him no airtime, which is slightly undeserved.
And we carry on giving him no airtime.
Poor man.
He's 5.
I'm worried he's going to get held up, I'll be honest. There's an Alpine in front.
Yes, park it! Brake check, come on!
And I think the Alpine's on a hot lap, but, I mean, there's different definitions of hot lap.
What do you mean by that, bro? You're trying to insult my teammate here. What do you mean?
Yeah, it could work out.
Alpine fans, yeah, jump on this man.
Gets a nice little bit of toe.
As if the slipstream even exists here, I'll be honest. I don't think it's actually a thing around here. He's 2.5 tenths down, proving my point. So
Yeah,
you don't know anything about the game,
and then you could
invalidate.
just see the grip just falling away as he invalidates, but he was never going to improve, unfortunately, with the track position. It's a hard track. There's just so much going on. No blame on Hammer, you know, it's just one of those things. But Magnus Shaw will pit and go again as the Hammer sets a 1097. He improved, just proving that he was pushing as hard as he could.
Yeah,
Does improve his lap time.
Or a second improvement. Not much, but every little bit counts.
David getting out of the way sensibly. He's on a hot lap. Sorry, an out lap, I should say. And Amalfi, the one and only. I hear that his girlfriend is watching. I believe his girlfriend is Portuguese. So, tudo bem.
What? You say you've been doing scouting reports? That's crazy.
That sounds really creepy, actually. I actually regret saying that. It sounds really bad.
That is
I've got the binoculars out.
That is meant. Nah. End the stream, bro. End it. Nah. Bro, why you still can? If you're watching it, I am not involved. I am not involved.
Bans incoming. Oh dear. I mean, you've seen my last name.
In this Joe Goldberg wannabe, bro. I'm not involved. Mental behaviour here. I'm about to get an app from a Morphe having a formal complaint, aren't I?
Anyway.
Nah. Bro, I might have to just block you. I can't risk you stalking me as well. That's crazy. How do you know that information? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, sometimes I talk to people on Discord. I'm not that old. When I say to Amalfi's made that same mistake, he's out. I think he was distracted. he was sweating.
By your stalking baby. That would distract me as well. Jesus.
David's on a hot lap. Driver, do you know what? He did quite well to not get distracted by the beached Amalfi and a car that was getting out of the way. So good job to him, pushing on into the last two corners now.
If you clip any of that, put in caption below, I was not Aidan Jones. Aidan Lawrence Jones was not involved. Oh my God.
So 1089. Good lap time, second place for now. Maybe you're right, Aidan. Maybe 1085 is kind of a bit of a ceiling, but I don't know. Early days in Q2.
Well, it looks like Gabriel's the exception. He's very quick. He is looking very quick. He might be able to get in the low 108. He does look like a bit of an anomaly out of the bunch. So Magnus looked quick in Q1, but he might have just been using used set of soft tyres.
Yeah, true. I wasn't really looking into that.
No, you never really know. Even like when it says on the details about tyre or whatever, it never fucking tells you.
So Mason's approaching, I think it's Tejano, or is it David? One of the two. I think it's Tejano. Just got to be a little bit careful. Gets out of the way really nicely. Completely missed that. Oof, I tell you what, that was close to a front left being banished across to the Never.
Yeah, like you're going to be banished across the Never after the stream.
Oh, slightly.
I'm going to stay in this voice chat, and I'm going to get the maddest line from. I'm going to hear the maddest line because you're going to have a pillow before you know.
Wow. Outrageous. Mason sets a 1:10.0. Not bad, but he'll be looking to improve. Maybe slightly at risk as it stands, but it's 5 minutes to go. Anything can happen. Oking has always found a way to progress, it seems, when I watch him, but let's see how he fares. It's a 109.6, provisional 7th. Oof! Slightly understeers into the wall in turn 1 on his in-lap. And we've got, I think, Lingus Mingus. What a name, by the way. And he's just starting his hot lap.
If I speak, I'm in big trouble about that name. I prefer not to speak.
Don't you dare get your binoculars on me, Manic saying. Don't worry.
sorry, I just got a complaint from Morphe. Why the fuck is Lucas there got the binoculars out? I can see him outside my window.
For the record, I do not know where they live. I just want to make that really clear. I don't know where
How do you
anyone
know?
in this race lives. Maybe country. I know some of their countries.
I just blew out my whole address.
Lingus looking really, really good, actually. That was really nice through there. Very planted. I think he might get held up a little bit here, though. Whoever's in front of him needs to get out of the way.
Manic, you know what you're doing with this. Sure about that. I'm not even sure about that, bro.
Oh, yeah, I think the car there could have got out of the way a bit earlier, but maybe it's okay for Lingus. Hard to tell. Because you do lose grip surprisingly easily around here when there's a car in front. It's a 109.4. 6th place. Could be safe, but he's got 3 minutes left. He could pit, I think, and set one more lap if he needs to. Mason is miles down, so he's obviously redeploying for a new lap. Maybe made a mistake. Chimita is about to cross the line. He's just going through the last corner now. Another one that's slightly at risk as it stands. And of course, Amalfi is definitely out. And so it's down to Lejeune and Callum. But Chimita did not improve enough. He's still in P11. In fact, I think it was slower. So 1:10.1 is his lap. And Callum has gone into the pits.
T-break anyone. Fucking about as British as you get. And I'm British. T-break anyone. Fuck off.
I don't think... Is Manic English?
Mate, he said tea break. I don't care if he's now English. I don't care if he wasn't before. He is now English.
I don't even like tea. Don't know about you.
Right, nah, you're fucking, I don't know. Actually, no, because you know Morphe, his girlfriend, because you're also Portuguese. Fuck it. Burn yourself.
I'm not, trust me, I get sunburn after 5 minutes. Lejeune set a 109.4. 6th place, but he's invalidated this lap. I think it's an in lap, though, to
you're
be fair.
Scottish, I don't care.
Right, so I think the only person now on a proper hot lap, it looks like it's Xbox, who hasn't actually improved in Sector 1. And I take it back, actually, the Hammer is on a hot lap, so I've just flicked across to the Alpine driver, your favourite of all time, Aiden. Oof, a little bit of understeer.
Teammate, you can't expect me to not be biased. That is the thing. I'm trying.
Oh, this is looking good though. Sorry to cut in. Really nice speed through that chicane, through the swimming pool section. Looks really planted, really pushing here.
I'll put about 5th, top 5.
Let's see if you're right. 6th place. Pretty good stuff there. Awesome. 109.2.
Oh, I was waiting for that. Oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Fuck yourself.
No, I'm waiting to see Q3 before I speak.
Oh, honestly. Watch, Gabrielle's gonna be the only one hitting a low 108, and I'm gonna get fucking trash talked for it.
Chimita has actually gone slower, so he's got the dilemma of, does he now switch the battery mode? And he's got enough time to get around and do another lap. I think I would in his shoes, but I think he's pushing on.
Depends on the fuel.
Maybe, yeah, that's a good point. Hammer obviously invalidates, it's like an in-lap. So Xbox is 4 seconds slower. No, 3 seconds. I don't know what I was saying before. 3 tenths slower, though. So both him and Oking don't look to be improving. The key person to watch... What's that, sorry?
Callum, he's not set a lap time. He's not even head out the pit. He's not even tried to head out the pits.
Yeah. And I think Oking's not pushing. And I think 44 seconds, he won't make it back, right? Judging by his pace.
Wait, okay, let me have a look. No, there's no way.
Yeah, so I think this is it. I think this is your order already, because certainly... Oh no, I take it back. Sorry, Mason will be the last one, but he's in 10th place. So he's trying to push on. I guess he's worried about Oking. Probably doesn't know that Oking actually won't set a lap. So Mason is safe if you had a race engineer to tell him. So this should be it.
So Manic, no, I don't want you to let him. What I want you to do is forget you have brakes going to Tier 1. Just take 5 cars out from me, please. That would be much appreciated. Thank you very much. That was not on record, by the way.
Right, let's see what Mason can do, but yeah, some pretty good lap times there. I mean, Gabriel 108.5, a little bit of a gap from him to the others, so an early marker. And okay, cool, Manic, I didn't realise you were British, that's cool.
Mate, he said tea break anyone, that's about, you might as well have said I am British.
Mason pushed hard, and then A wild Alpine, I think, appeared.
Give me a second, I'll do this at all.
Sure, sure. Right, well that is, I believe, it for Q2. All the cars returning to the pits, and actually while we've got this little break, I will go through the standings. So David, who is otherwise known as Pigeon, what a name, he is leading. I believe he is leading by 11 points over Koa, who's not here today, so that's a huge swing. Then we've got Gabriel, who is on, he's 12 points off. Sorry, yeah, 22 points off, I should say, in the Williams. So it's still pretty close. Hammer Time 4th, and then the other Williams, who is, I think, Lingus, is in 5th. And then we've got one of the Ferraris, although I think it might be the guy that retired in Q1, I'll be honest, I forget his name. I feel bad because it doesn't match up to what I'm seeing on the graphic. But Brett is in 6th, and then Magnushaw 7th. So it's pretty interesting there, and actually a lot of the top 10 lining up, of course, Koa missing being like the big news of the day. But anyway, let's run through the order for Q2. Gabriel, David, and Magnushaw are your top 3 for Q2. Then you've got R Webb, which is an interesting name, Tijano, the Hammer Time, Lejour, Lingus, Xbox, and Mason to round off your top 10, and they are through to the final qualifying session. And eliminated today are Oking, Chimita, Amalfi after getting distracted, and Callum in the Ferrari, who did not set a lap time.
I just want a quick comment. Manic, you say your brake pedal work, but you never know. Lucasade might also know your location. So I might just give him a quick £20 just to break your brake pedals. Don't know these things, bro. You know what would be terrible if your brakes actually fucking just stopped working? I would actually just be dead. You go down to what I just see smoke. Anyway, the main thing you can take from that is, well, Gabriel has to be the favourite. Surely, he's fastest. I believe he was fast in Q1. I might be wrong. It was same as.
Someone's commented in YouTube saying, "Why is there a man standing outside my house with binoculars?" Just for context. I should not have said that. What I was going to say before we were distracted is I think Magnushaw, once he gets rid of 1 or 2 sandbags, I think he can challenge. So I think Gabriel and Magnushaw are the ones to watch.
I think Gabriel.
Never count out David, right? Championship leader.
Yeah, but it's Monaco, so it's like you won't count him out in terms of being up there. But with what I've seen so far, I would say Gabriel and Magnus would be the favourites. I'll go with Gabriel to get pole. He looked quite strong, really. I think Baku though, he did look strong, and it kind of fell away from him at the end. But I'm pretty quite confident. Oh, did I see someone hit the wall? I think Lingus hit the wall. No, I think he was just getting out of the way. I saw like dead Brit, and I thought he genuinely hit the wall. I'm shitting right now, Luca, leave me alone. I love how you said Luca and not Luco. The disrespect is crazy. My name's not even Luca. So are you sure that's his like twin or something? That's crazy behaviour. Right, about to start. Which lap do you want me to go through?
Let's ride on board. So David is about to start a lap. And then I think, is it Lingus as well? It's one of the dark coloured cars. R Webb, sorry. So R Webb and David. We'll flick between the two. David, I'm slightly more interested by, to be honest, just because championship leader. Let's see what he can do. He's been slightly off the pace so far. So yeah, we'll go on board with David. Take us through the lap, Aidan.
He's gone for about a quarter. He's gone through the whole first sector already. 18.4 in the first sector, about 2 tenths off really what he would want after what we saw in Q1. He wants really an 18.2. Climbed the curb very nicely. Wants to get nice. Oh, he missed the apex quite a bit there. Out of Rasgas. No, sorry, that's Portimao. My bad. Down into the Nouvelle chicane, out the tunnel. Break as late as you can. Try and cut the corner as much as possible. He's done it too much.
Oh, So onto our web then.
Our web now through the swimming pool chicane, flat out through here. Get as close to the wall as you can. Rotate the car so you don't hit the wall on the right. Very tricky braking through Raskas.
Oof.
A very big bit of a wheel spin round the final corner. It is a 109.379, and yeah, that's really gonna be pole position. That's looking more
Magnus
like it, 108.259. Can Gabriel do anything about it? He's messed up his first lap, so I'm guessing he'll try again.
Hammer set a 109.9,
wow,
Xbox, and then yeah. Go on.
That is a mega lap from Magnus.
Yeah, really impressive. Tajano though, he's I think next to cross the line. It's definitely on a hot lap. Hasn't aborted.
Alright, Gabriel. He is about to start his lap now.
Yep, we are on board with Gabriel.
Into turn 1. Down into third gear. Oh, he takes fourth instead to carry more minimum speed through turn 1. And it will just lessen the wheel spin. Also out the corner. Gets close to the wall. Trying to open up the corner for the next left right-hander. Does it okay-ish. What's the first sector? What, 18.257? That is the first sector we're looking for. I don't know what is Agnes's first sector. It is an 18.194, so he is off by
Super
600.
close.
Very close indeed. Third gear. As you can tell, he's using a bit higher gears than what we saw earlier with one of the McLarens with Niggins. Into the chicane we go. Not too bad. Probably could carry a little bit more speed through the Nouveau chicane, but I think he just wants to complete the lap as he has just messed up his first one. Very good middle sector. It says purple. Not
Nice
sure
rotation there.
Very, very nice indeed. Into Raskas. A lot less horror on the wheel spin. Mate goes wide and then he has a massive number of oversteer. And it's going to cost him a lot of time. It's still going to be the front row by an absolute mile. But it is second fastest. What a lap by Magnus though.
Wow. Yeah, and apologies for missing that one. David now we're on board with. He's trying to make amends from his first attempt.
I definitely clipped the wall there after the Nouveau chicane. He definitely did out to back. And he's about 6/10 down on what Gabriel did in after the first two sectors. So, fourth fastest maybe.
Love to see it though, pushing so hard.
Look. Yep. Very, very good driving from a lot of them. And he goes fourth fastest.
So a low 108 Aiden seems to be the lap time, eh?
For one driver, well done. I did say it was going to be one bastard driver, I'll get it. And I'll get called a moron.
109.3 for Hammer, so he's improved. But yeah, it looks like Magnus and Gabriel already setting the early pace. Maybe a showdown between the two of them.
Yeah. Absolute Monaco merchants. You know these two are like the two that have practiced that have done Monaco the absolute most out of all of them. And well,
I can only respect it. It's such a hard track.
I can only respect it. Is definitely, I would say, a confidence track to do. And it's clear who has the most confidence around here tonight. It is definitely Magnus and Gabriel. Gabriel, he made a couple of mistakes on his actual PB. So maybe that will affect him going to his final run. He needs to find 6/10 of a second. That is a lot of time that he's missing. And yeah.
So now I think our Webb is your next driver on a hot lap. So he's just working his way around. Also got Mason and Xbox on outlaps. So it is shaping up a little bit. 5 minutes to go in this session. So everything is still to play for.
Do you reckon 107's not possible? Magnus's lap times really surprised me. Like, I'll be honest here, I judged it kind of off time trial. I didn't have Magnus's. I had Gabriel's done, it was a 108.3 or something like that. So it was kind of based off that. So I didn't think a 107 was going to get hit, but a 108.2, that is dangerous. That is... They could. That is possible. If they really hook it up on their final laps. I would say Magnus is 100% favourite. Gabriel, with the mistakes, will have probably a bit less confidence as well. And you know what? Our Webb might challenge for the front row. He's 3.5 up.
I was going to say, this is looking really tidy from our Webb in the background there.
He's
Here
about
we
3.5
go then.
tenths
Let's
up.
see what lap time he's going to set. Looking very tidy so far. So
He missed out
108.9.
the front row by about a
Just-
tenth and a half.
Yeah, good effort though. And also Mason looking good. I think only 3 tenths improved so far, but always got potential and there's still a little bit of time to go. Let's see what lap time he can cook up for us. Just making his way now to the start-finish line in the Aston. It's a 109.3,
word.
5th place. Good lap time.
I don't know if anyone saw that. There's a lot of bumping on the right-hand side as he goes across the line. That was porpoising or something. That was bizarre.
So David's on an out lap. Xbox is on a hot
Why
lap.
is my brakes not working? Luco got something to say. Absolute to the max.
I was about to say something so bad. I'm just glad I didn't say it.
Go on. Come on.
No, I'm
spill
not
the
saying
beans. Come on, it'll be fine.
I was going to say we got a stash of lubricant after someone got apprehended.
GG's, yeah, end the stream. End the stream. End the stream. End the stream, bro. Yeah, nah, good run. I apologise. I'm all for letting this.
108.7 for Xbox. Shaking things up though, with 3 minutes to go. So Gabriel's got to respond. He's in the pits.
Agnes is about to start. He's definitely counting on the fact he might mess up the first lap, and because you get a lot of fuel on your quali laps, you can afford to mess up on your first one. You just can't hit the barriers really. And a nice little bit of lag there going into turn 1. The fourth gear also. Up the hill we go. This looks... Oh, he's really hooking it up here tonight. How on
Huge
earth?
confidence.
What is the time? He's 1.5 tenths up. He might hit the 107s with how this is going. Through the hairpin. Well, he downshifted. Honestly, the lag is incredible. He's probably, that's why he's going fastest. He's just lagging his way through the lap.
Oh,
Yeah.
almost slightly too narrow on that apex, which I guess with a lap time this good might just scupper him there.
And that will cost him time all the way down the straight. He's going to have to probably overdrive the car a little bit to get more time.
And that McLaren needs to get out of the way as well, which it does. Good stuff. Drifting into the wall perfectly. No, this is on. No, this only 300ths though. This is still on for Magnushaw to improve. Seems a little bit slower, but then sometimes slow is fast when it comes to Monaco. When it looks slow, it can be fast. Let's see. 108.4, just slightly slow, but what a lap time though.
Xbox 200 down. What about Gabriel in the first sector? Gabriel, a 10th up in the first sector. He needs.
Oh, no! Yeah, he'll have to try again, surely.
He does have time.
Yeah.
Surely he's going to back out. He's still on the
lap. He hasn't aborted the lap.
Going for it. He hasn't aborted the lap, indeed. He's on overtake. He's still going. Incredible stuff here.
Meanwhile, Manic, if you live in Manchester, just saying.
Oh, he's invalidated.
invalidated.
He's invalidated.
That might be good, to be honest, because I think he needs to go again anyway, so that might have just forced his hand. Mason has improved by 300ths apparently, but I can't tell if that's correct. No.
Again,
No, it's slower.
Yeah,
I was going to say that's just weird graphics. He's on a... Yeah, his session's over. Hammer time, he's setting up for one more lap, but he's going to have to absolutely fly to do that. Who else is on a hot lap? Lingus. Lingus is on a hot lap.
18-1 for the Red... Oh, sorry. He's also on a hot lap. Is the Williams? Let's have a look.
Yeah, so I think...
18-3. Red Bull of... I'm going to have to pronounce it. Lejour? I'm so sorry if I butchered that, but 18-1 in the first sector is very good. That could actually put him on the front row. I'm not even joking. And 18-1 is very, very, very... Jesus Christ, manic. Anyway, in the first sector, it was looking good. What about the middle? It's not so good in the middle. It might be front row possibly still. But,
Are you on with LeJour?
Yeah.
Yep.
And Gabriel is not improving on his lap, by the way.
No, what a shame. That is for 109.1.
Gabriel, he's out. He's hit the wall at the Nouvelle Chicane. He is only going to start third.
And Lingus sets a 109.1.
Oh, Webb had to get out of the way. I might be able to done if that doesn't despawn in time.
And meanwhile, I flicked onto David and he might have got held up by a car. I don't know what went on there. He's invalidated. David's invalidated. He is going to be starting in 9th or last.
What about Hammer in 6th? He's up by a tenth. This would put him in the top 4 potentially if he could hook up the final sector. Could he maybe go on the front row? He doesn't need a lot of time. This could be an incredible recovery. He didn't look like he was threatening the front row at one point. What can he do across the line? He only stays 6th.
Tijano, a 109.0 up to 7th. Great effort yet again. Tijano finds a way.
The championship leader is in 10th.
Wow, do you know what? It's a real bad luck there, and that's the thing with Monaco. You know, sometimes it just doesn't quite work for you. I think in the first chicane he was very much put off by a car in the way, and then it just kind of throws your rhythm a little bit, and a few seconds later you invalidate. But
yeah, Gabriel, that is a huge missed opportunity. He's at 20 plus points behind. That was a good chance.
But yeah, take a bow, Magnus Shout. Excellent stuff. Good rhyme there as well. And he sets pole position with a 108.259. Xbox in the house with a 108.7, and Gabriel just misses out with the 108.8, but he's in third place. I think he'll be pretty happy with that for Monaco. R Webb in 4th, Mason, the Welshman, in 5th, Hammer in 6th, Tijano in 7th, Lejour in 8th, 9th goes to Lingus, and 10th to the unfortunate David. That's your top 10.
Boys, it's been a pleasure, but I've got to cook. So we'll see how it goes. I'm confident, but it might end in turn 1. So I will stay in the voice chat, but I will be just muted.
I have one more question for you, though. See those little front wings in the shot right now? How many of those do you think you're going to go through?
All of the above?
All of them.
Absolutely all of them. Pretty confident, but it could end by turn 1. I'm not even joking. But yeah, I'll stay muted in the chat, and I'll be honest. I'll probably be bored for the next 40 laps, so I kind of need the comms for the vibes. So yeah.
Just do not unmute and say bullshit, or I'll kick you. I mean it.
No, but enjoy the race. Gabriel's disconnected.
Hopefully
Gabriel
he can rejoin.
I have got him added. Okay. Oh, he's gonna be so fucked. Oh no, Gabriel.
Hopefully no one readies up.
No,
if anyone's listening.
There's 10 seconds left.
Really? Webber's left as well. Maybe is there something wrong with the lobby?
I'll let you know if there's a lobby. It does sound like there's a lobby. New lobby.
New lobby. Okay, everyone. So yeah, we're gonna have to take a few minutes just whilst a new lobby is set up.
Never mind, I'll stay unmuted. This is a very good opportunity because it's binoculars.
He probably lives in Liverpool, let's be honest. On a good day, you can see Liverpool from Manchester, I'm just saying.
Mental. If I speak, big trouble. I prefer not to speak. No, I will stay in the voice. I'll just mute. I'll mute my nose. It's Bond, by the way. It's crazy.
All good. But yeah, good luck in the race anyway.
Yeah, I'll stay unmuted until we're actually nearly starting. I feel sorry for the poor bastards that may have saved a set of softs.
Oh yeah, that's a really good point. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, because there's no way to enforce that, right?
No. Quite a cool thing though for this track. Next game it will be mandatory 2 stops. I believe it is at least.
So I'm just checking the Discord.
Yeah. I haven't got any invite, just to let you know.
This music is grimy.
Jesus. Honestly. Did you say retire? Oh my god. They have no idea.
What? They haven't seen everyone just leaving?
I don't know. I don't know why we have a new lobby, I'll be completely honest. I don't believe there was any grid pens or anything of the sort.
I think sometimes the game just breaks. between quali and the race, right? I mean, it always
Bro,
has
what do you
done.
mean it just breaks? It's always broken. What do you mean? It's never not broke. It's never not broken. This is the game fixed, right?
Oh, new lobby for grid pens. Oh, thank you,
Was there?
thank you.
I promise I didn't know there was a
Well, there you go. That's the insight
Callum
that you needed. That helps.
Callum went with 7 up. Okay. Well, 7, yeah. Luke, I'll give you 20p to get me in this voice chat. If you accept that,
Absolutely
I
not.
will strangle you.
Absolutely not. That's way too expensive.
and inflation these days, bro, that's a lot of money.
That used to get you a Freddo bar. Brexit
Um,
Freddo costs like 80p now, doesn't it?
I don't know. You get people out here stealing from Greg's, it's crazy. How desperate must you have to steal from Greg's of all fucking places? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's a
Anyway,
sad
a bit
reality.
off topic.
A Freddo bar is actually 40p, so it wouldn't even get me one Freddo bar. So no.
Absolute scammer. Definitely goes on the phone to people going. No, I'm not going to do the accent, actually. That will sound insane.
To anyone that doesn't know, a Freddo bar is like a really small chocolate bar in England, like a Cadbury's little like kids bar. So that used to
Basically,
give
small
your
as
kids
Luke
pocket
bar.
money to like go and buy it, but now they're really expensive. So kids just do drugs instead.
You're not wrong, but like,
They just vape
wow.
instead.
They just vape, honestly, it's awful. They go, oh, vaping's better for you. Bro, you're putting fucking chemicals that are meant to taste like blue raspberry, like whatever the hell it is, in an electronic thing. I go, oh, this is better for you. Huh? I'm sorry? Excuse me, what?
They suddenly got really political, but yeah, it is quite sad actually when you see kids vaping because that stuff is addictive, and like your brain's still developing when you're a kid. So
So
I would not
that's
recommend.
outside with binoculars and a stick in your mouth.
That's outrageous.
He's been found out, and I see you've got an invite. The fact you haven't denied it at any point, by the way, is very worrying. Like, you haven't said
I don't
no,
even
and
own
they-
binoculars, just to be clear.
Yeah, yeah, it's a microscope. That's why. Telescope, bro. He owns it all. That's one of those photos that has like 6 different lenses on the fucking back of it. It's crazy. I actually look at the back of my phone and I have one with 6 different lenses. That is not good. That is
It takes
not
one to
good.
know one.
Abort mission, abort mission, abort.
Get the
Oh,
get the telescope instead.
you would know.
No, I've got one of those foldable phones, which I do not recommend.
Why? Because it doesn't zoom in enough.
To be fair, the camera is actually quite weak.
How would
No,
you
it's more
know?
they're just too easy to
You
break.
tested it out. Honestly.
I can't fully comment here because we're professionals on stream.
Why can't you fully? Are you sure? Professional, yeah. You're an Arsenal fan. You're already disqualified.
Anything is possible.
Yeah, except for that.
Well,
Don't do miracles. Imagine the
anything
build
can happen. Either
of the awful table. Imagine your fun having the build of the awful table you see at charity events.
oh dear. Let's have a look at this
Whoa,
profile.
yeah, nah, I'm not watching any more of that live chat.
Oh yeah, I'm not commenting for the record on that.
What? Why are you not commenting? actually, no. It's
Manic has a D-rated
wait.
license, 3 trophies, so clearly a very dirty driver. D-rated license. He's one of those 5-lappers that
I reckon if you look at
crashes
the
into you on the
whole
last
grid, they've
lap.
all got D-rated. I reckon most of them have D-rated. I'm actually gonna have a look at it.
Ah, well, Mason's a B, as a nice clean Welshman with his 20-mile-an-hour speed limits. B license.
Oh, I've got someone with A.
Sure.
The Red Bull. Yeah.
Probably because he's never done a race, because I think you start with
Oh,
A.
from Durham. Oh, from Durham. Yeah, I think you start with A. I have 12 trophies. I'm just built different. I'm actually quite. That's actually quite. I actually have 12 trophies. That is hilarious.
Keen. Well, this is the sort of stuff we get up to when we're waiting for a lobby to be created. Nah, Manic, you've been found
No,
out. Absolutely.
no.
Let's just reiterate what we just saw. We just saw so many A's and B's and a D. That is horrendous. I think you should get kicked just for that.
Yeah, ban him.
Genuine question: what are these little
Again.
trophies next to some people's names?
Okay. I actually wait.
Like R
Let me
Web's
have a
got a
look.
couple. Xbox has got a couple.
Let me have a look at Xbox. He has 3 trophies. I'm guessing. Wait, no, here it is an Austria one. Okay, it says series welcome to F1 World. I want to
Ah,
say it's to
fan
do with
zone.
F1 World. Oh, it's Fanzo thing.
I think is that where you follow a driver in a team and you try and perform for them, right? And then
Of
if you
course
get like
you
the
link
most
it to
points,
following. Of course you link it to following, Luco.
I don't know where this has come from. I was just trying to be nice and include someone in the stream.
Of course he links it to... Oh my god. I think the person... I think the person's actually put messages in the live chat. Oh my fucking god. No! Oh! No! End the stream, bro. End it. No, that Luco was saying I'm Portuguese. Manic, why are you including me in this? Bro, what you mean they? What the fuck do you mean they, bro? He, fucking him. Look at the whole live chat. There's a reason why we've been talking about Lucas A binoculars. Oh my god. I can't be. What do you mean they? I can't believe it. I cannot. No, Manic, fuck it. I'll go. You as well, bro. You are included, brother. If you're dragging me down, I'm dragging you down with me. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Who's Aliana? That's Lucasades. That's who Lucasade
What?
stalks.
This is Suarez's daughter.
But
Oh no.
men who
Outrageous.
just Suarez daughter. Wow. If I speak huge trouble, why aren't we readying up?
Let me check Discord. That's a good question.
Ask Luco. Ask Luco. Bro, I was not involved. I asked Luco. He was the one that said it. Ask it. I did not know. I did not. He came out with this information. I said, bro's doing scouting reports. Like, mental behaviour. Insane.
I just want to say this only came about because of a very wholesome conversation I was having about like learning languages and stuff. So like,
bro. Of course I'm fucking with you. Of course you haven't actually. I'm taking the absolute piss here. But thoughts on Germany, lads. I'm trying to say something that's not outrageous. They're not starting wars anymore. Best I've got. I'm
I
sorry.
think Aiden, you need to get ready for this race before you get yourself cancelled. I'm staying quiet.
If I was only cancelled now, boy. Utter woke nonsense. See you peering out the window. Jesus. Manic's probably the type of guy to not even own a window. He doesn't even have a window. It's just a hole in the wall, probably. That's why he's offered 20p. That's why he only offered 20p to be here. Because he hasn't even got a window, he's just got a hole in the wall. That's why he's only offering 20p to be in this voice chat.
That's the pocket money that his mum gave him. No, jokes aside though, there probably are people that are like super young. That's why, like, you know, you got to be responsible.
Not me. I'm 17, bro. I'm the mental age of a 4-year-old. What do you mean?
Right, the session is starting in 22 seconds.
Right. Everyone watching live chat, enjoy the race. Hope it's good. No high expectation. No, I hope it's a fun race. Lucas Aid, I'll be enjoying the comps because I'll be muted the whole time. So I hope it's a good race for you as well. Everyone
Thank you very much.
Everyone enjoy, and let's just have a fun race tonight.
Yeah, have a good one,
And
Aiden.
yeah,
And again, do not
you as
unmute.
well. No, I won't. Unless it's a safety car. Am I allowed to unmute?
If there's a safety car, we can
like,
bring you in, yeah, and get some insights.
Yeah. If I hear a snore, I'm unmuting immediately. I'm saving this ship.
40 quid a week. That's pretty good for a benefits payment.
Alright.
Right, let's go.
I mean, we're not. No. Okay, the countdown's not even started. Okay, there we go. We're actually ready up. Yeah, no, everyone's ready up. Right. Everyone enjoy. Have a good evening to everyone if this is the last you hear from me in the live stream. And yeah, enjoy.
Thanks, mate. So we can just double check if the order was set correctly. But I believe Magnus Schau will set an absolutely incredible lap time. And the one of the big stories was David, I think, in 10th in the end, in Q3, struggling to get a lap time strung together. And of course, Aiden will be starting from the back. He has served his quali ban and he's finally left. So there'll be no more outrageous comments coming in.
There's still time.
To Jarno as well, big shout out to him. He strung together a nice lap at the def. He's done that a few times now. And I think Gabriel could probably set. I think he's got better pace than was shown in Q3. And he seems to be quite a solid sort of Sunday race driver. So yeah, still a lot to play for. I mean, it's Monaco. So many different strategies. Do you just get on the hard tyre? Do you play for track position? So hard to overtake, of course, with the width of these cars. How many safety cars will there be? Many questions. Can David work his way up the order? I mean, he's 22 points, I think, clear of second place in the championship. So he hasn't got to do anything drastic. So yeah, a lot of questions to answer.
Quick reminder for anyone watching live stream, don't forget your setups. Sorry, I just realised.
No, good shout. Yep, make sure you set your setups on. And actually, to be fair, David's 11 points clear, of Koa, but Koa's not here. So yeah, Gabriel is 22 points away. So there is potential for a championship change. And actually, Gabriel could well move into second place after this event. So the Drivers' Championship is really shaping up nicely.
Seconds before we start.
Awesome. Let's go on to the race director. So far, it's what you would expect. Most drivers on the hards. Some maybe baiting onto the mediums, but will they flick off at the end? We'll wait and see. Looks like David wants to push as hard as possible. He's going to set a statement. Maybe Tajano as well. But anyway, I can't change the settings and my audio's died. And Gabriel's jumped the start, but we're away. Right, the game just sorted itself out. But a jump start from Gabriel, who takes the lead. Oh, Magnuschel spins on turn 1. And now 3 cars into the side of each other at a spinning Aston Martin. There is a Williams doing, I think, a 480 or some sort of weird spin. And amongst all that chaos, Amalfi up into P9 and goes slightly, I think, into the back of Xbox. I don't think Xbox would be too happy about that one. But in the meantime, Gabriel is leading the race, having jumped the start. And a McLaren has spun around and I think has reset to track. And there was a Sauber of Ragogo and I think Aiden maybe coming to slight blows. As Beetle spins around, he's going to have to reverse. And he is at the back of the pack now in P20. So quite a hectic start as we've got Tyler overtaking Xbox into P11. And there is, what on earth did I just see? I think there was a Mercedes being ridden by a car as Manic gets a 3-second penalty for corner cutting. That explains the D on his super license. And we've got Magnuschel all over the back of Tajano. But as always, as you'd expect at Monaco, pretty much chaos from the start. Tajano ghosted and a little snap of oversteer as something has happened there. Gabriel had to go into the pits. So he's serving his drive-through nice and early. I think he could have stayed out, but that's an interesting choice. But there we go. So he's serving his drive-through, so everyone moves up. R-Web now your race leader. So many changes. Magnuschel, of course, with that spin, is a big loser. Down 5 places as he almost goes into the back of Dejano and then feints a move to the inside, but there's never going to be a move on there for the Mercedes driver. Tyler's looking to push on, slightly boxes out James, and James is going to be in a bit of trouble. Yeah, I mean, that's really tough on James. Not really much he can do there. The cars just don't have the turning circles they used to, and they're so wide. I feel a little bit sorry for him there. Leger, though, up 3 into 4th. Never seen him before in this driving series, but he's looking very good indeed in the Red Bull. That's good to see. We've got Magnuschel now trying to make amends for turn 1, lap 1. Not entirely sure. Oh my goodness. I mean, that's one way to overtake, right? Surely this is lag. Please be lag. Because that is absolutely wild. Yeah, it must be lag. But we'll stay on board with this massive fight here. Magnuschel on the inside. He's got to cover off from Amalfi. They are going for it. And it looks like Magnuschel ghosted and Amalfi was able to get through. I have no idea what was going on there. That is crazy stuff. Oking also getting past Magnuschel. Maybe he's got some connection issues. Leger almost going for the move on Hammer for 3rd, but backs out of it. And R-Web, meanwhile, sets a 2.4 second lead. So already just showing, the qualifying pace doesn't mean everything. And you've just got to now try and keep it clean and try and get into your rhythm and set some consistent lap times. Right, that's a lot to take in there. The race slightly calming down. I say that, but Leger might go for the move on Hammer. Backs out of it, and he's got to be careful now of the McLaren, because if you cut to the inside there, it can hamper your line off into this left-hander, and then you open yourselves up to some interesting overtakes. But again, Monaco is such a hard place to overtake, and it's quite easy to defend, in fairness. So Beetle clamped down. Let's have a look. So Gabriel's in P15 as Beetle has a snap of... Oh my goodness, what's just happened there? I think what might have happened is when the driver on the left-hand side tried to go in the pits. I think a driver on the left-hand side in Oking tried to pit, and there was a car on the inside, and I think he kind of... Well, something happened there. They got tangled up. That actually happened to me once before, years ago. If that's what I think it was that just happened. Anyway... So yeah, Leger's still over the back of Hammer, but Hammer is holding on. And Xbox and Oking, I think this will be due to the pits. Yeah, so David now into P17. Let's just check who's stopped. So yeah, Xbox and Down have pit. And do you know what? An early pit stop onto the hard tyre, it can work out for you here in a 39 lap race, because the hard tyre will just keep on going. And if you've got pace and you've got clean air, anything can happen, because the differential between you and the race leaders can be pretty huge when they're fighting. So all still to play for, but I've been very impressed with R-Web really building a strong lead in race trim. Tajano in 5th. Let's just look at the... Oh, sorry, I'm messing this up. Look at the penalties. So Manic's got now 6 seconds just as we flick on there. It's going from bad to worse for the Aston driver. That's unfortunate. And in terms of tyres, you can see it on your screen now, but Mason and Hammer on the hard tyre doing a good job. Of course, R-Web on the medium, you would expect him to pull away a little bit, but I don't think the medium has anywhere near as good a range actually as the hard. The hard is pretty damn indestructible around here. Right, let's go on board with Manic. Look at him clearly pushing hard, but hasn't quite been able to get a move done. And we've got Magnusholt and Amalfi again. An interesting place for Magnusholt to overtake. Not sure if Amalfi just made a mistake, but now he's got Tyler for company behind in the Ferrari. Speed G Master. I'm not sure if you're a driver or if you're what relation you've got, but yeah, please don't do what you just messaged in the chat. And Lejeune, I mean, Lejeune clearly has pace in the locker here. He's getting held up by Hammer, as you would expect, with the tyre differential on lap 6 of 39 for this round 7 race. Beetle into the pits already. Wonder if he has damage, because that's an unusual time to pit. Aiden then moves up into 11th. Aiden is playing the long game. He survived lap 1. He made a couple of opportune overtakes. He's looking quick, and he's now got Lingus on the same tyre as him for company. So already up 10 positions after 6 laps, not bad at all. And James and Xbox, I think, are having a bit of fun. Look at this, James on the outside now. So Xbox was on the inside of turn 1, and he's turned in too early there. Xbox has turned in too early. 2 cars side by side, doesn't quite work at that pinch point if you snap in left. Somehow survives, and David says thank you very much, and he moves up into 15th. But my word, how on earth did that not end up in a safety car? Crazy. And Beetle getting past James in very unorthodox fashion, and I thought there was going to be some locking of wheels there. And there's a VSC. Ragogo DNF'd. Is that maybe the cause? I'm not entirely sure, I'll be honest. We're all just busy watching the commotion there through Sector 2. And I think that Beetle pitting onto hards... Oh, well, he needs to because he's lost a front wing. But regardless, pitting onto the hard tyre under VSC is often a very good strategy, because Monaco often comes down to pit strategy when you're so bunched up and stuck behind one another. And that's what you'll notice a lot of these mid-runners have done. Now, unfortunately, well, maybe fortunately for us watching, but unfortunately for the leaders, they kind of missed this pit entry when the VSC was enabled or activated. And unfortunately, Beetle did the right thing pitting. I mean, he'd lost a front wing, but he then unfortunately got a penalty for cutting. I think it was the pit exit, although that seems weird because I don't know where he's appeared. That's so weird because Beetle definitely pit. Maybe it was last lap. Maybe I'm losing my mind. But either way, maybe I misread it. Let me take a look. Someone got a 10-second penalty. Maybe it was Manic. Oh, sorry. There's Beetle Clamp and Beetle Rain. That's crazy. Right, Beetle Clamp got a 10-second penalty and he pit. Ignore me while I just reset my brain. That is so confusing. And I think Beetle Clamp is not having the most fun time as it stands, which is unfortunate. Oking has a drive-through penalty, I assume, for speeding under VSC. So that is super unfortunate there, going from bad to worse. Monaco is such a tough track. It does not forgive anyone for any mistake. And we're only on lap 8 of 39. You've just got to be calm. You don't need to be pushing with quality pace. If you can just keep the car clean and set moderate pace, you'll actually end up finishing top 8 more times than not. So we've got now R-Web sort of maintaining the 3-second gap. So perhaps the medium tyre is just starting to equalise with the hard tyre. Really impressed though actually with this top order, doing a really good job the top 4. And Legeure's just biding his time. He'll be a bit frustrated because I think he's got some pace in the locker. But again, the pit stop phase will be a huge thing for him. I think being on the mediums maybe a slight detriment, but we'll see how it pans out. Aiden though up into 7th, so with all of the pit stops and things going on, he is just moving up and up and up. Start on the hard tyre, keep it clean, and you just gain 3 positions. So there's a VSC again. I'll be honest, I don't know what that's for. Oh, Xbox DNF'd, apologies. Again, there's just so much going on. Did not see what happened with Xbox, but commiserations to him. And Beetle Clamp pitting again for another new front wing. and he's got 23 seconds of penalties, and he's retired. Okay, and then we've got now David, who is of course under VSC as all the others are, but he's pretty close to Beetle Rain. So we'll just stay on board with the McLaren until VSC ends, and we'll see what he can do in the McLaren. Down 2 places from his starting position, but got a lot of pace in the locker. So far though, other than Manic, who's had a bit of an unfortunate time, 2 3-second penalties so far is actually pretty good going for Monaco, to be honest with you. And 1st to 8th have not pit, except I spoke too soon. Gabriel has just come out of the pits, and he will lose, I think, only 2 positions, which, to be honest, is pretty good going. Pitting under VSC and only losing 2 places. Let's see, though. It's going to be super tight into turn 1. Oh, and he just loses out to Beetle Rain. So he's actually down into 11th. He lost 3 places pitting there. And the VSC has ended. So we're on board with Hammer. And then we'll flick back to Gabriel pretty soon. David did get past Beetle Rain. I mean, I think that move was coming, but David had to get that move done. Gabriel, of course, as well, getting through. So again, apologies for missing that. Mason into the pits, though. That's a big one. Hard to tell exactly where he'll come out, to be honest with you. I think he'll only lose 3 positions by the looks of it. But let's stay on board and see. It's going to be super tight with the Alpine of Aiden. Aiden, though, up into 6th. Just gets past Mason, who has now pit onto the hard tyre. So yeah, you can see here the tyre strategy is coming into play. Magnus Schull on the outside of Tejano gets the move done with DRS. Excellent exit to make that happen. He's up into 8th place. So Magnus Schull trying to recover after that spin. And I'll tell you what, on the hard tyre, having already pit, he is looking very primed up for a good race result. Lingus and Amalfi side by side, a bit of contact. And Amalfi's car is okay. Both cars are okay. I'll tell you what, Amalfi is getting his gloves on, his boxing gloves on today. He does not want to withhold any punches. He wants a good result here. And so far, he is doing just that. 4th position now. He's got a bit of a gap, though, to Lejeune. The top 3 really have broken away, but are, of course, yet to pit. Although as are 4th down to 7th, but looking very good for the top 3 and Magnus Schull and Tejano. Let's have a little look down, though, into... Oh, Aiden has spun into the inside. I'm not sure what caused that, but do you know what? He'll be okay. As long as he doesn't have to pit, he'll be okay. He will lose a bit of time, but he still is in a good... He's got a good track position, and he's still on that hard tyre. So as long as you can keep it clean on the hard tyre, you're okay. Like a little spin's not so bad. Yeah, looked like an awkward one there on the second to last corner. So that means now Amalfi and Lingus are going to be battling it out for this 4th position. As Oaking gets past, Beetle Rain has decided... Oh! Okay, I think that was lag. Okay, Beetle Rain has DNF'd. I think he just retired, but we'll see. I can't see anything on the track, but I could be blind. And so James will move up into 15th place. But Amalfi's holding on to 4th. We'll stick with this battle. Currently 3 cars very close together. Lejeune still cannot get past Hammer for 2nd. Oh, maybe close to corner cutting for Amalfi, but I think he just about aced it. No penalties for the top 8 as well. And look at Magnus Schull. He is catching up so quickly to the other cars, and he's already pit. Mason slamming into that outside wall, trying to keep up. He wants to line up a move, but it's going to be so hard for him. And again, surely this must be lag, because it looks like Lingus riding the back of Amalfi, but he's all over the back of him. I think he's going to get past with DRS. Oh, bit of contact. A little bit of contact side by side, but again, could be the lag. And Lingus is up into 4th place in the Williams. Gets the move done on Amalfi. And meanwhile, Magnus Schull 4 seconds off Aiden. And Aiden is going to be doing everything he can to catch back up to the pack that unfortunately eluded him with a little spin. And Mason now in the background just gets past Amalfi. So there's some interesting overtakes going on in like relatively unusual places. And James finally overtakes the DNF Tyler. So currently 25% of your grid have already retired. We're on lap 12 of 39. So almost a third of the way through. here we go then. So Lejeune, give him some airtime, just really biding his time. I think he's just settling into a rhythm alongside the hammer. But I mean, really, for him to win the race, he's going to have to try and get this move done at some point, because that gap to R Webb just keeps opening up as Aiden overtakes Amalfi, because Amalfi's gone into the pits. So Amalfi's had enough. He's gone onto the hard tyre, which will definitely see him through to the end. And I'll tell you what, it was a good stint overall from Amalfi. He did a really good job, like good controlled aggression. Meanwhile, Manic has picked up another penalty. It's just going from bad to worse for him. I think that license is about to get a letter E on it by the end of this event. Mason, though, is... Oh, okay, slightly wide line from Lingus, but of course Mason could not capitalise on that one. Not enough room. But as it stands, everyone is now on the hard tyre except for your race leader, Webb and Lejeune, who really should be trying to move into second, but just can't quite do it, and it's going to get harder and harder for him. So I think the question will be, when does Lejeune go onto the hard tyres? I mean, unless he's trying something drastic, which I doubt. Maybe he'll wait for the next VSC. Mason just going through the swimming pool chicane with Lingus just in front. Lingus, of course, has a penalty, but there's still such a long way to go that track position is still key, just not getting held up too much. But I tell you what, that was a half decent exit from Mason, but then it's just so hard to get the grip. You need to really have a perfect exit, and the car in front needs to mess up to get a move done there in general. Let's go on board with Gabriel, though. He's on the inside making his way into turn 1. He gets the move done on Tejano for P8. Good stuff there. The Williams driver recovering pretty nicely as it goes. And in terms of your position changes, Aiden up 13 positions. Your top 4 all massively winning. Mason down 1, and of course a lot of the pitters are showing us down. But that is what you would expect, having pit, of course. So yeah, everything's still to play for. Let's just ride on board with Aiden, because we can hopefully then watch this battle between Mason and Lingus unfold. Good car placement there from Aiden. I think Mason may have corner cut, but I could be blind. So hard to do a whole race, or even a half distance race. 39 laps without 3 corner cuts is very, very difficult. I think Lingus starting to hold up this little group more and more. But I think, yeah, the thing is Lingus is just getting excellent traction on the exit. As Lejeune does decide to pit, so he answered the question that I posed last lap. He's decided enough is enough. He's been held up, and he's ended up behind Magnuschel. So there you go. If you didn't need proof, now, well, if you wanted proof, sorry, now you've got it visually, because, as I said, you can even spin on lap 1. You can spin like Aiden did later on. If you get on the right tyre at the right time and you've got free air, you gain so many positions. So Magnuschel, with ultimately an undercut, has already appeared in front of Lejeune. And as it stands, that means that if R Webb is able to understand what's going on and he pits this lap, he should come out in front of Magnuschel. But he is the only driver that would be able to do so. That is at least my understanding. So we'll see what R Webb does, because this is quite a crucial moment for him. And R Webb chooses not to pit. So that is interesting times indeed for the race as a whole. Magnuschel looking very tidy, just working his way up to Aiden, and Mason's had enough. He's going into the pit. That makes sense, to be honest with you. He was stuck behind Lingus. Now Aiden will be the next driver to attempt to get past the Williams. It's just so hard to overtake, especially on worn tyres. And Mason goes, as I say, Mason's gone into the pits. He's gone into the medium tyre. That will see him through to the end relatively comfortably for Monaco. And Amalfi overtakes into 10th place. And I believe Chimita will as well. So Mason's going to come out in 12th place. James gets a 3-second penalty, though. Pretty devastating at times for this track. And yeah, we'll just stay on board with Aiden in the Alpine. See what he can come up with. It's going to be a tall order to overtake with 15 lap old hards. I wonder if he will... he won't box, but I wonder if he'll back off and just recharge, or if he's just going to wait for a mistake. It's just such a difficult situation when you're on the same strategy as the car in front. R Webb again pushing on, has chosen not to pit, and Manic on the soft tyre. Wow, soft tyre has set the fastest lap. So pretty alternate strategy there from the Aston driver. Oh, as Lingers almost goes into the wall. And this actually will allow Aiden to have the best chance yet to make an overtake. And I was talking earlier about does he wait for the mistake to then have a go. And it just runs out of room. It's so hard. I just wish that they could just demolish Monaco and rebuild it with just a longer, imagine just a longer main straight, and suddenly the race would become so much better in real life as well. There's just not enough DRS room there to overtake. And Magnus is watching this unfold very keenly and is the real winner here. Yeah, I think for Aiden, he'll need to try and get past. Oh my goodness me. And yeah, if you go on the inside there, bad things happen. And Lejeune says thank you very much, because these cars do not turn like they used to. As soon as you position yourself there, you're either taking out the car in front or you're losing a place. And in this case, Lejeune gets past. Magnus, though, would maybe go for the late dive. Backs out. That would have ended horrifically. And he's into 6th position. Webb does choose to pit. Now, what I was saying earlier, I have to confess, I was slightly wrong, because if Webb had pitted straight away, he would have come out in the lead. But maybe he was smarter than me, and he anticipated Magnus getting held up by all of this gaggle of cars in front. So we'll see where Webb comes out in front, but I think he's absolutely aced it, to be quite honest with you. Oh, we'll see, though. So, yeah, so Webb there, I mean, fine, Hammer's in front on 17-lap old tyres, that's not a problem. But yes, Webb comes out in front comfortably, because Lingus did him a massive, massive favour. So Webb will be the happiest person on the track by far. And I will say, I think if Lingus hadn't been where he is with this lap time, which is very slow, as Lejeune is had enough, he's going to maybe go down the inside? No. But yeah, I think if Lingus hadn't held them up, I think Lejeune, Aiden, Magnuschal would have potentially been able to get in front, because Webb took so long to pit. But this is pretty much perfection from Webb. Master strategy from the Red Bull. And as for Lingus, I mean, he's got to do what he's got to do. He's doing the right thing for his tyres, and this is just Monaco. Here we go, the Lejeune. This is oh, he backs out. I really thought he was going to go for it there, but sensible stuff. Sensible indeed. Very clean driving. And Mason and Chimita are in each other's cars, let's say. And Mason ends up in 10th place. Interesting times. Manic really injured my wrist. Oh man, I hope you're okay. Did your wheel kick back with have you got one of those really expensive wheels with the whatever it's called, oh, Lejeune around the outside. Lejeune around the outside, and Lingus gets spun around. That's a shame. Unfortunate one there, really unfortunate. I think it was almost inevitable, Monaco league racing, and if someone is holding up a train for X amount of laps, sometimes a bit of desperation can creep in. But that seemed a bit unfortunate there. It seemed to be a little bit tagged on the outside. So he spins down to 8th, commiserations. But anyway, let's ride back on board with Lejeune. Oh man, yeah, sorry Manic. That has never happened to me, but I know many friends that's happened to, and it's pretty awful. Yeah, hope you get better soon. Get the deep freeze spray out. I'm not even joking. I actually use that when I go-kart in real life after races when I hurt my wrists. But anyway, Gabriel in 4th position then, all over the back of Magnuschal, but Magnuschal must be super, super happy that Lingus has fallen down the order. I missed Aiden pitting onto the mediums, apologies. So he's decided, screw this, and he's got 7 seconds of clean air. So I think I can pretty much already tell you that was quite an inspired move from Aiden, who is pushing very nicely, but also controllably. Oh, wow, look at this what's this? Okay, it's a lapped car. I think it's James, so ignore that. That's absolutely fine. I mean, James should really get out of the way, but it's okay. So Magnuschal, Gabriel Lejeune, all just getting past the lapped car. No real changes there. Oof! Gabriel almost into the back of Magnuschal, though. Nice on the brakes. And Lejeune also through. So this battle is huge. But in the meantime, Webb and Hammer will just be so happy. I mean, Hammer on medium tyres with... I should really have given him a bigger call out, but again, with all that stuff going on with Lingus and so on, it's allowed Hammer to build up a nice gap, and he's on the medium tyre. So looking really good for your top two. Question is, can Hammer catch up a 5-second lead on medium tyres? I mean, in theory, it's possible. Maybe it'll come down to mistakes and penalties. In the mean, oh, Gabriel Magnuschel side by side into the last corner. There is not a lot of room there, but room was given. Room was given very nicely by Gabriel, but Gabriel gets DRS, so surely Magnuschel's in a bit of trouble perhaps here. Into turn one. Yeah, Magnuschel has to go defensive on the inside. He's conscious of Lejeune. So Gabriel P3, Magnuschel, and then Lejeune in fifth. Oh, and Lejeune almost going for a move on the inside. Manic, you're always welcome to join, but if you add me on like EA and PSN and stuff, then if that sort of thing happens again, man, you're always welcome to join. But like, I'll leave it for this time because I'm just so bad with technology. It'll mess me up just trying to add you and everything, and I'll miss the race. But I appreciate it though, man. But yeah, honestly, in future, just add me, and you're always welcome to. Lejeune, I tell you what, I think Lejeune could actually be. He's got a 3-second penalty though. I was about to say he's being very patient, but I think Lejeune and Magnuschel are probably the two quickest drivers that I've seen so far on this track. But again, track position is everything. Lejeune has been held up almost the whole race. Here we go then. So the sort of P6 downwards, there's a little bit of a gap now, which tends to happen. You know, little mistakes here and there, front wings, different tyre strategies. But actually, it's really nice to see this battle here with Lejeune and Max. This is big, brave driving here from the Red Bull. What a move from Lejeune. I'm so annoyed that I missed the start of that, but what a move around the outside. Really opportunistic. I just assumed there wasn't a move on at all. But Lejeune cranked up that battery, and he did such a good job. I'm really, really impressed there. I mean, I was saying that he's been held up the whole race. He's got that pace, and he got the 3-second penalty, and I think he's just realised, you know what, full aggression is required. Amalfi down into 12th. I'm not quite sure what happened, because at one point he was like going along really, really nicely. Maybe something happened. And Aiden already catching up to David on the super old hard tyres, 20-lap old hard tyres. So looking very good for him. He's just able to set very consistently quick lap times in fresh air. And I think by the time he gets to David, he may well find that the 3 cars in front of him all pit. And he's just going to have a lovely, lovely clean racetrack. But we shall see. Buttery, is there a point it's still going? I mean, you know, if you enjoy it, as long as you enjoy it, that's the main thing. That's the result. Oh, there's a safety car. Sorry, Lingus. Trying to talk to someone. Lingus has binned it in the first chicane section. That is really unfortunate. Oof! And I thought Amalfi was about to lose his front wheel there. So safety car, and this is going to benefit a few people. Certainly those that haven't pit, of course. I mean, that's the most obvious statement of all time. But I think everyone has pit, haven't they? I'm being stupid. So for the hard tyre runners, you could pit onto the softs, but track position is so key here. I know a lot of people that will say just never pit. Oh, I was about to say, yeah, Tajano looked really too high up on that curb, and he has got a penalty for it under safety car. That's awkward. But yeah, I know a lot of people that say, like, I never pit under SC if I've already pit and I've met the requirements for the race. It's just track position is king, isn't it? But we shall see what the order decide to do. Webb has not caught up yet, and he does decide to pit. I think for the hard tyre runners, it's a lot more of an easy question with these old hards, but we'll see. Yeah, so Hammer stays out. That's exactly what I would do. And I think now, if I was on a hard, I would pit. Oh, and Lejeune sped in onto the entry of the pit lane. Bad to worse, 13 seconds of penalties. That is not ideal at all. And I assume Aiden is going to stay out and put his foot down, and he's going to gain so many positions. You know, starting on the hard tyre at Monaco, it often works so well. In this case, you've got on the medium, as SE's come out, you can still just drive it past, and your tyres are good all the way to the end. So yeah, pretty much everything you would expect. Hard tyre runners all pitting. Aiden, Hammer and Mason choosing not to, which makes complete sense. And there you go, you've now got a medium race, probably to the flag. But I mean, safety cars often cause safety cars. I don't think that's a very good saying, but you know what I mean. You bring the pack up, you restart, and 2 of them spin into the wall straight away. I mean, yeah, it's unfortunate, Lingus. You drove a good race though. You were under a lot of pressure, and you were, racing very consistently. It's tough, man. And yeah, lap one was pretty crazy. I couldn't really track all of it, to be honest, but a lot of cars side by side in interesting places, let's say. Yeah, to be fair, Manic, if your wrist is really bad, you can get a wrist, I know it looks a bit stupid, but you can buy wrist braces, or otherwise, like, genuinely just get, like, deep freeze to put where it hurts. That can help. But yeah, hope that you're able to make it next week. So everyone, I think, has caught up. Okay, Amalfi and James need to catch up, but I think Amalfi's been lapped, right? Surely, unless I'm going crazy. Yeah, so it's actually just Amalfi that needs to catch up, as Tijano pits onto the medium tyre. But yeah, the main thing is if you enjoy it. I think, I mean, the result, no one's getting paid, right? So, if you win, it's amazing, but just got to enjoy it. Monaco's so tough anyway. Whenever I used to, like, league race properly, when it was Monaco, I really didn't even think about the result, because you can be the best car on track and have a great race, and all it takes is, like, the driver in front crashing in front of you, or someone braking late into the back of you. Like, so many factors. All it takes is one mistake and you're out anyway. So I don't know. I never really think about Monaco that much. Aiden, if you're there, obviously it's a safety car. So if I'm assuming you've got annoyed with all of the energy in the comms, but if you want to give us your insights, you can. How are you feeling? Third place.
Yeah, I got hit, but the reason why I spun at Raskas is that I got hit from behind from Mason.
Ah, okay. Sorry to hear that.
I got hit on lap 1 or 2 by Manic to Mirabeau, so I've somehow not had wing damage. Probably should have boxed earlier, but I came out ahead of Mason with the when I came out on the medium tyre and I undercutted the Williams. Safety car, not brilliantly timed, but I did jump the Red Bull because he went ahead of me before he pitted. So yeah, I will say that the temperature in these tyres are not ideal.
Third place. I mean, if it helps, I mean, Hammer has the same age tyres as you. I mean, you could work this out anyway, I think. But then, obviously, Arbo in front and the 2 drivers behind, they've got fresh tyres.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. It depends if I get hit from behind again to get past, get overtaken. So we'll see. I don't know. I've been hit twice up the rear, so I guess we'll hope that it doesn't happen a third time, because there's a very good chance of a podium here from back in the grid.
Yeah. But you're still on your first front wing, right?
Yeah, no front wing damage. Somehow I somehow had no front wing damage.
Good stuff. And then looking at the penalties, I mean, Lejeur's got 13 seconds. I'm saying this more to everyone, not for you, but Lejeune sped into the pit lane, so unfortunately I think he may have had the best pace of everyone actually in race trim. He was looking rapid, but 13 seconds of penalties with this safety car will not help one bit. The back 3 runners, 10th through 12th, they've all got quite a lot of penalties as well. But yeah, Magnus Scholl in 7th, and the safety car's coming in this lap, so I wish you all the best, Aiden. And yeah, good luck out there.
Thank you.
So Hammer is going to restart this race. It's really worked out nicely for him. I mean, he pitted at an excellent time, and with the hard tyre runners sort of holding themselves up, that really played into his hands. The safety car really helped and allowed him to get into this position as well. But you've got to say he deserves to be where he is. Let's see how he restarts. R Webb has pretty much gone on with him, but again, this is such a short straight line. Let's have a look then. Is anyone able to make a move? Gabriel very close, but can't do anything, not quite. Down to Magnus in 7th. Oh, brushes the wall. Really pushing hard. I think his car's okay though. Yep, his car's fine. So it all stays as it is. Oh, Lejeune and Gabriel. Lejeune goes for another crazy move around the outside. So hard to see that. David gets a 10-second penalty. That is not ideal. And I'll tell you what, this is a big, big battle here. Lejeune and Gabriel. Gabriel into the back and pushes Lejeune wide. I don't think Lejeune will be too happy about that one, but Lejeune keeps the place. And he's in fourth. I'll tell you what, the overtaking from Lejeune has been really, really good. But Aiden will be pretty happy, along with the other top three. Or the other two from the top three, that Lejeune has been making these moves, because it has then built up big gaps. Magnuschel gets past Mason, and now there looks to be David trying to go on a charge. Chimita just covering off Tijano in case he went for a weird move. And yeah, Manic, it's always the day after. Like, yeah, same with like sports injuries in general. Yeah, ice pack and deep freeze, man. But anyway, so that is looking good. Our Webb is very close to the Hammer, but the Hammer is so far proving himself very nice with these 9-lap-old medium tyres. Lingus, the Cambodian Minister of Defence. Yeah, I love to see it. And yeah, if that was your best race, then that's amazing. In half a year. That's pretty cool. I mean, I was in the league once, and I think it took me like a year and a half to even get a podium. Although that was like some really quick drivers, and I'm not that level. But yeah, as long as you enjoy it, that's the main thing. I prefer driving with people that are fast and clean, to be honest with you. But anyway, our Webb is looking very, very tidy here. Just stay on board. All over the back of Hammer, but it's one thing being all over someone. Can you actually get the move done? Nice tidy line though. That was nice. Hammer might have to go heavy on the battery, and he does so. But our Webb is all over the back. DRS open, just runs out of straight line room. Hammer did the right thing there, burning the battery. He knows that's the place you've got to defend. Our Webb, is he going to go for a killer move here? It'll be very tight, and he does back out. I think Hammer knew to cover the outside, because I think, well, it's such an odd place to overtake, but if you want to do it, you've got to hang it around the outside, and I think Hammer knows that. So he sort of just covered the track quite neatly. Lejeune and Aiden. Aiden has got Lejeune for company. This is going to be a very good battle as well, I feel. Our Webb, though, has got a crazy overspeed, and actually Hammer has allowed him onto the outside. Oh, surely there's not enough room. Yeah, not enough room for two cars there. It's so unfortunate. It's difficult with these cars. Hammer was good on the brakes and said no thank you. So Hammer keeps the position. But our Webb was putting the pressure on. We'd love to see it. And now we go again. It's all about the exit traction. Almost into the back of Hammer goes Webb. Oh, this looks good though. Looks very good from our Webb. He's shaping up for the race lead. He's going to brake late, and he's gone into Hammer. He's gone into Hammer. That was a little bit scrappy. I think I would be considering backing out of the move, but we will stay on board. Oh, and our Webb slightly into the back of Hammer again. And we've got Lejeune all over Aiden, but Aiden has a good defense. Oh, and Gabriel's gone for the speculative effort. He's kind of caught Lejeune napping after the back out from the move on Aiden. And what a speculative overtake from Gabriel, getting those elbows out. He saw Lejeune back off on the move on Aiden, and he just went for it. A little bit of a late move, but Lejeune sensibly saw it coming at the last second and backed out. Amalfi and Tejano fighting for P9, and Tejano has got past, I believe, Amalfi. And James has gone into the pits to put a new set of soft tyres on. Oh yeah, the cars behind would have been annoyed, Lingus, but that's Monaco, isn't it? Anyway, on to our Webb. What is going to happen here? Is he going to get the move on this time? Tries to go to the outside this time. Free side by side, and we've got Aiden into the lead. What on earth was going on there? But anyway, Aiden gets into the lead, and Gabriel has been, I think, tagged onto the inside and sort of buffered or bumped into the wall, and that has completely messed him up. To be fair, a good recovery, and Magnuschel up into second. Oh, there are cars everywhere. And R Webb has spun. I think he's been tagged. And he has spun around. He's done a 180. And he is going to lose so many places. It's really difficult to get the car spun back around there without getting damage as well. So bad to worse for R Webb into P9. Just a little bit clumsy, to be honest with you, from a couple there. But anyway, Magnussen up into second. He made the most of the chaos. And Gabriel into third. So we did say it back in qualifying that Magnussen and Gabriel were the cars to watch. Notice David, despite the penalties, is really pushing on here. And Lejeune just finds a way to stay. But I feel like, I mean, there was so much going on and the camera angles were awful because the game is pretty shit, to be honest, when it comes to camera angles. But I think there will be penalties from that lap. I think 2 drivers there will be getting penalties. That's my opinion, but anyway, who knows. Gabriel there with a switchback move on Magnussen. Magnussen really struggled on exit there and just got caught out. Unless there was a yellow flag that was... No, all good, clean overtake. Magnussen caught napping slightly. But meanwhile, look at Aiden on those 13-lap-old mediums. He's got a 1.9 second gap. He'll be hoping that Gabriel and Magnussen continue to fight. Magnussen's got Lejeune for company as well. I think Lejeune has really good pace. But wow, this is becoming quite an interesting race, in fairness. Hammer down in 7th, of course, after the chaos. R Webb, of course, being spun as well. So 2 big losers, just not coming off too well there. It's a really difficult one, you know. Turn 1, overtaking on the outside. Is it possible? I don't know, because the car on the inside, if they're like more than half a car in front, I think they're always going to run the car to the outside. And there's a barrier there, so it's one of those, isn't it, really? But it's obviously not, you know, I'm not saying that I'm very good and that my opinion means anything, but I'm sure the stewards will look at it. Anyway, on to lap 33 or 39, and yes, Aiden into P1 Manic. He is having a very, very good race despite the small little spin, but as we said earlier, it doesn't really mean too much. If you've got fresh air and you've got a fresh wing and you're on the right tyre, that's normally the winning combination. But we'll stay on board with Lejeune. Oof! Lejeune right into the back of Magnus Schau. Magnus Schau is struggling. Does he have damage? Because he does not look as fast as I was expecting in some of these corners. No, I think his car's okay. But definitely struggling for traction. Because, I mean, like the overtake out of turn 1, that was very unexpected. James is on the wet tyre. That's interesting. And Chimita podium, absolutely great shout by the chat with that one. R Webb gets a 3-second penalty trying to push on, but you are absolutely right, because you know I'll keep the penalties on for a little bit so you can see them. But as it stands, Chimita would be in 4th position, but as you say, anything is possible. Magnussen's got to keep pushing, and of course Chimita's got to make sure he doesn't get a penalty. But yeah, Lejeune and David, whilst they have excellent track position, it's not going to end too well for them at the end with the 13 and 10 seconds respectively. So I'll keep the pens on for a little bit longer. But anyway, let's go back on board, or go on board with Gabriel. He's in 2nd place, and he is catching up really quickly to Aiden. Did Aiden make a mistake? Because Aiden had a massive buffer, didn't he? I think it was like 2 seconds at one point, and suddenly Gabriel has just turned up the heat. He is going for it. Washed in a shower. That is a harsh comment, because he's driven well. And David gets another penalty. Bad to worse for him, especially when there's only 5 laps left. Here we go then. It's all about just keeping the car clean, using the battery correctly, especially on this main straight, and then just positioning your car nicely. No big risks needed here. Looking at the tyres, I mean, Aiden has a slight disadvantage for tyres, but it's nothing too extreme. Wow, Gabriel seems so much quicker at the moment in Sector 2. But to be fair, I think his setup, well, I say that, all the setups should be very, very similar around Monaco. but he has seemed, him and Lejeune have both seemed very quick in Sector 2. Speaking of Lejeune, let's go on board with him. Tijano gets past Hammer, but Tijano does have 6 seconds of penalties. So Hammer keeping it clean is looking very, very positive, because in Hammer's case, 3 of the cars in front of him will be losing positions. So that's a sort of a net P5. Mason and Amalfi. Oh, they've crashed. They've both spun. That's unfortunate. And it's so hard to get out of these positions, as you were seeing. It's horrible. Like, it's just because you can't get the revs up to get the car rotated, and then if you do too much, you end up damaging your car. So it's just horrible, and then you lose so much time. As Mason, I don't know if Mason was letting Amalfi through. I'm not sure what happened there, but both struggling to get back, facing forwards. But as I say, it's so difficult. Didn't see the incident, but anyway. So James being lapped again, I believe, and Mason's retired. He's had enough. Drove well though, and a VSC. Is that a VSC because of the oh, Arweb's DNF'd? Has Arweb binned it? I don't know if, well, obviously Mason I think just retired on track, which I don't know if that's allowed or not. I mean, most leagues you have to go into the pits, right, to retire. Whoops. And then Arweb, I'm not sure what happened, but he has also DNF'd. What a shame. Your race leader at one point, who was driving so well, is out on lap 36, and we have a VSC. Also, I completely missed it. Sorry, there's just so much going on. It's hard sometimes with one person, but Gabriel did take the race lead off Aiden, so apologies for missing that one. I assume that was all under normal racing conditions. So that is an excellent opportunistic move, perhaps, from Gabriel, assuming that's what it was. And wow, he's only got to see it through for a couple more laps. Can Aiden respond? In terms of Chimitta's race, so we're back underway. I think Gabriel got a good launch though. Yeah, Chimitta's looking fantastic. He's just got to keep pushing on. He's got to try and catch up to the back of David and put pressure on Magnushell, because as it stands, he's just going to miss out on a podium. Amalfi with the drive-through for speeding under VSC, but I think, to be fair, his race was very much really impacted there with the spin. So commiserations to him. Never ideal to have a race end like that, especially when you so nearly got to the end. But let's stay on board now with Aiden and see if he can find a way to get back past Gabriel. Gabriel, by the way, will be, I believe, your championship leader at the end of this race, as it stands, because he's 22 points off the McLaren, who is set to drop many positions and only pick up, I think, a couple of points at best. So it could well be that, yeah, it could well be, as it stands, Gabriel is going to take the championship lead from both Koa and David Niggins. So this is really, really great stuff from Gabriel, doing everything he needs to do, but he definitely wants to win this race. The extra, oh no! And as I say that, he puts it into the wall, and surely, I mean, the ghosting is crazy, to be honest, to allow that. I mean, somehow keeps the position, but as I say that, Aiden has got a 3-second penalty, so that has changed many things. That gives Gabriel the breathing room he needs to perhaps win this, but that was an interesting kind of bit of luck, really. I mean, how on earth he survived that? Lucky boy. He's missing a front right end plate, but he has no penalty, so he's just, even you know, just worst case, just let Aiden through. You don't need to be aggressive, and everything should be fine. But anyway, we are making our way now to the final lap of this race. There are only 9 cars still going. James, to be fair to him, is hanging on in there. James is going to get points, despite being lapped, I think, twice almost. So it just proves that, you know, if you stay in there, you're going to get points around Monaco. But anyway, we're on the last lap. Gabriel was kept first place despite the end plate issue, but he has no penalty. So just got to keep it clean, and the race win is in the bag, and also the championship lead. Aiden, though, recovering all the way from last, having served his. qualifying penalty up 17 places, and he's into second. Little wobble from Aiden though. Otherwise, big winners in Chimita, who will jump even more positions because Lejeune and David have huge penalties. Magnushow, I think, will keep third as it stands. So, really interesting race. Oh! Magnushow almost loses a wheel, but I think he actually hit the middle left of his car. And Lejeune was planted through there. Wow. Good move from Lejeune. Of course, the penalty situation does change things. But anyway, let's ride on board with your race winner for round 7 at Monaco. It's Gabriel in the Williams. Fantastic job. P1, Aiden in P2. What a recovery drive. Lejeune is going to have huge penalties. So Magnushow P3. David as well. So how far up will Chimita run? And of course he ends in P4 as we predicted. And then Hammer hanging on in there. No penalties for Chimita and Hammer. And they end in 4th and 5th. With the penalties, Lejeune goes into 6th. Dejano 8th. And as I expected, David into 8th. And James on the wet tyre is just going to slide around and burn these tyres up to the flag, which is one way of doing it. But anyway, let's not go on board with that. Don't really care. Let's have a little look at the standings and how that all factors in. So yeah, my understanding, Gabriel takes the championship lead. And I believe then David will be, I think, 1 point behind, but maybe my maths sucks, to be fair. Let me get this right. Yeah, he'll be 2 points behind, I believe. Or am I wrong? I don't know. It's close between the two of them. I can't be asked. But anyway, great result. And actually, Hammer, to be quite honest with you, he did a really good job to recover after all of the incidents that were going on. And he's 4th place in the championship. So he'll be knocking on the door of certainly Koa and David. So this championship is really hotting up between the top 4, which we love to see. Magnushow, not ideal for him. I mean, he's currently 7th in the standings. He's finished 3rd, but I think he would have wanted more somehow. Nonetheless, though, he's going to catch up. He's going to slowly but surely catch up to those top 4. So anyway, let's
Lico,
just... Yep.
I've just seen Magnushow say he's able to report Gabriel. I don't know what for, but I've just seen in a Discord.
Okay,
He might report Gabriel for something. I just
yeah.
wanted to fill you in.
No, that's good. Do you know what? That's great, because I mean, these are provisional results. I think there were a couple of incidents where interesting things happened. Let's say
there was a lot of ambition.
But I'll run through the order, and then yeah, we can close off with a little discussion. But anyway,
do you want to do a little interview afterwards as well?
Sure. So Gabriel is provisionally your race leader, but there was a little bit of chaos between the two. I have to say though, really good driving from him overall, like really impressive stuff, some good overtakes. Aiden recovers beautifully into 2nd place. Magnushow, good amounts of aggression, good driving, ends provisionally in 3rd place, held on well with the 3-second penalty. Chimita keeping it clean and tidy. I'm really impressed with that P4. Hammer in 5th, good recovery ultimately given what happened. Lejeune in 6th, I think he'll be quite disappointed with that. The 10-second penalty really wrecked him there. He was quickest on track for a while. Anyway, Tajano, David, James and Amalfi round off the top 10. Then Arweb, Mason, Lingus, Manic, Tyler, O'King, Beetle, Clamp, Beetle something, and a couple of others round off your grid. There's too many Beetles. It's like weird stuff. Manic, by the way, did set the fastest lap of the race. And it was Xbox as well, sorry. I missed Xbox and I missed James. So that rounds off your order. Apologies. But yeah, how was the race for you, Aiden?
Not too bad. I mean, the last 10 laps, those mediums, they weren't bad. The rear of the car was just finished. The rear was absolutely cooked. Had little to no grip, which is why I was struggling so much through sector 2. The reason why Gabriel got past me is there's casino sections, casino square, whatever. Like when you go up the hill from turn 1 at Sandavot, and then the left hander and then the right hander. I nearly spun it on the right hander, and he just ghosted through me. That happened twice actually. Might get the win from sounds of it, but It was very, very, it wasn't stressful, it was more just tiring to get through. But if I get the win from 19th on the grid, that might be my best win I've ever had, and I don't think there's much topping that.
Yeah, yeah, really good stuff. There were some really good battles actually. I think there was just a couple of laps where it all got a little bit chaotic with some of the moves, but overall, like really good racing from everyone. And yeah, pretty impressive stuff. Thanks everyone in the chat as well for the support and for the messages. And yeah, commiserations actually to R Webb, I think in particular. That was a real unfortunate way for the race to unfold for him. Clearly a good driver. He was leading for a fast amount of time in that race. And yeah, big result for Chimita, up into fourth. So some big winners and losers. But yeah, I think the big takeaway is that, unless I'm wrong, I mean, there was a 22-point deficit. And I believe, actually thinking about it, 22-point deficit. And David, I think, that's going to get 3 points. Again, this is all provisional. So I think as it stands, actually, Gabriel and David end up level in first place. So yeah, lots to play for in this championship. But yeah, thanks a lot for joining, Aidan, for quali and after the race. Were there any like closing points you wanted to make?
Um, Not really. I mean, there was a lot of ambition and a lot of the overtakes. I will say, be very careful who you do them with. Because I saw the Red Bull. I forgot who his name is. It started with an L, but it looked like he was trying to go something very ambitious, and it probably worked. From sounds of the comms, I was slightly listening, concentrating at the same time. But he did sound like he was doing a lot, but do it to the wrong person, and you end up losing. And he did. He kept trying to overtake me in very ambitious places, and just I think he lost the place to Magnus Shaw, and then they all gave each other some form of damage, which is why life was a lot easier keeping that lead for as long as they did. Didn't keep it in the end on track, but oh well. It was a fun race. We got, I think, Miami or Vegas next. I can't remember which one. It's Vegas, actually. It's Vegas. So yeah, looking forward to it. And won't be quality banned. So I could still chill in here if you want, but I think Manic will be on the co-coms. So, and I heard about Manic's wrist. I'm sorry to hear about that. Don't dive bomb me into Mirabeau next time then. But sorry, no, I shouldn't. But that's what you get from dive bombing into Mirabeau. Um, but no, no. In all jokes aside, sorry to hear about that, Manic, and I hope you get better soon. Um, I don't know if he's sprained it or whatever, but or broken it or whatever. But yeah, hope you get well soon, and yeah.
Yeah, kind words. Thanks, Aidan. And yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. Next race is in a week's time for round 8. So yeah, please tune in for that one. Otherwise, have a great week and weekend, and hopefully we'll see you very, very soon.